There we are. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to get the titles right. So, here we go. I'm still punch drunk from last night, the star party. It was a great star party.
What time did you close down at?
Like after 11:30 or something like that.
So about another hour after I left. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going strong.
Yep. I mean, it's amazing speakers and all kinds of things happening. So it was cool. So next star party is on the 16th. This will be after daylight savings time. So our, we'll be springing ahead an hour on morning of the 14th, I think, at 2 a.m. And then, so that changes the UTC time on our schedule a little bit.
Well,
and we're going to run it an hour later. We were starting global star parties at 7 p.m. We're going to be on at 8 p.m. Just kind of make up the difference as we get longer and longer days, you know. You were saying, Ken?
I was going to say that, Arizona doesn't change. I think a couple other places don't change. And I don't know what the rest of the world does. I know that there's lots of versions of it around the world.
Yeah. Beatrice says she's getting addicted to our star parties. It's the people that's on. It's amazing. Beatrice, you should join us. Time changes confuses the rest of the world. We are the same. We are the same ones in Arizona.
I would say as a child, I was always interested in all things kind of science related. I like rocks, I like galaxies, I like planets. But my pivotal moments, I think I had two of them. And the first was the space shuttle program and Sally Ride, and the fact that she was the first American woman in space. And I really wanted to do that. But the second was the Voyager flybys. And while I don't really have memories of the Jupiter flyby, I distinctly remember the Uranus flyby in 1986. and getting these images of these alien worlds, these funny moons, all different colors, all sorts of things going on there that we didn't understand. And really that cemented for me, I wanted to study space science. There was no other question, that's what I was going to do. So as a planetary scientist, I study the planets in our solar system, primarily the outer planets, and I'm interested in their atmospheres and how they work and what they can teach us as a laboratory for atmospheres all over the place, including the Earth. My background is a little interesting. I actually originally wanted to study Mars geology. But when I started my graduate school career, I had an opportunity to work on Jupiter data, particularly with Hubble, calibrating some of the early images before Hubble had its corrective optics, right before the Shoemaker-Levy 9 comet impacts into Jupiter. And then we had this great encounter where we have all these commentary pieces heading in, but it was a new camera on Hubble after the corrective optics. So, wow, all these great new images. And I kind of got sold into, this is really what I want to do, study the atmospheres of planets. Hubble Space Telescope's been looking at Jupiter for the past 25 years, and this particular image taken just a few days ago, we can see the dynamic cloud bands, all the swirling clouds and colors on Jupiter, of course, and the Great Red Spot. But we also see wave features and smaller storms in the atmosphere, so we're learning a lot about Jupiter's weather, basically, by Hubble observations. I would say I'm not really good at looking towards the future of envisioning exactly where I'll be in 10 years, but I want to see more missions to the outer solar system. I think we have a lot left to do out there, and I am looking forward to the day when we are ready to launch a mission to Neptune or even another mission to Saturn, and I certainly hope to be parts of those missions.
I love that half-hearted applause. Well, hello, everybody. This is Scott Roberts and Kent Marts here. And this is what I think it's the 26th episode of FirstLight Chronicles. And so we're happy to be here. Had a pretty long global star party last night. Ran till just about midnight, but it was awesome. I mean, there was so much participation in this one that, I had to start bundling astronomers together, which actually worked out pretty nice because there was, great interaction between the astronomers that were teamed up. And anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'd mentioned towards the end of the program how impressed I was with Libby and the Stars. I think she gave her best presentation yet. Dave Eicher gave his talk about the distance scale of the universe. We had Dr. Daniel Barth, he's actually going to be starting a new series with us on Monday, effectively titled, How Do You Know? Daniel Barth is a science educator, someone that has helped set science standards in this country. And he has a book about astronomy education for teachers, which is now in, I think he said, over 40 countries, and it's been downloaded nearly 4,000 times. It's a free publication, but he's going to be covering these aspects. And, astronomy education for teachers, this program and what you'll learn in it is not just for teachers. It's for the average person too, and so, and Daniel is so, he's engaging, he's funny, and as Kent yawns, he's tired too. He was up with me. He was up with me doing the after party. So,
and I was here early too. So,
and you were here early too. That's right. That's right. So anyhow, we're glad that you're here. Let me recognize the audience here. I had a false start when I started the program. I forgot to change the titles, and I was calling this Global Star Party again. So I've done that a few times as I've run these programs, but there was enough time to fix it. So we've got Jeff Wise on, Book Davies, Mick Whitaker is on, and Beatrice, who I've been chatting with here, trying to encourage her to come on to Global Star Party. I think she's going to join us for the next one. Jim Norwood is on with us. James the astrophotographer. Richard Grace is with us here in chat. We've got Bergman Scooter. Yeah, thank you. It was a great Star Party. I loved it. I really did. Thank you, Richard. It was a great time. Let's see, who else? You guys are talking amongst yourselves. That's cool. Aaron B. Thompson says, afternoon, everybody. Mike Wiesner, he says, time changes, confuses the rest of the world. We are sane in Arizona. I don't know, Mike. I've been to Arizona. Although I love the state and I love the skies and all the astronomy that's done there. Maybe there is something to be said about not changing your time. Let's see. Richard Gray says, I bet the next time I use my hand controller, I'll forget the time change. Aaron B. Thompson, we never change our time either. I love it. Yeah. I don't know what the real advantage is for us. I mean, it always messes people up, About 1 or 2 days after a time change, people are either late or early for work, get up too late or get up too early, go to sleep too late, it throws everything off. Jim Norwood says a little low on the volume. I picked up the volume, so I think that worked. And who else is here with us? I think that's Harold Locke is here. Cameron Gillis, woohoo, yeah. Aaron says, great Star Party last night, really enjoyed that. Oh, he says, Book says he lost connection after the Mars art. That was cool, I forgot. How could I forget? Carlos Hernandez was on with us and he went through all of his art, his Mars illustrations, which really look like photographs, and they were awesome. Jeff Wise is characterizing Libby pretty well. He says, Libby has so much more confidence now. She's doing a great job with her presentations. I would agree with that. Chris Larson's with us. Hey guys, just made it. What a party last night. Yes, thank you. Jim Norwood says, I say just move the clock half an hour forward and just leave it there. Yeah. Maybe a good compromise. And Richard Gray says the dog never understands daylight savings. It's not understandable. I don't know really how it came up. Andrew Corkill says, I really like Dave Eicher and his guitar shirt. I know, that's Brian May shirt. So, okay. So today what we're going to go over is Ken had promised to go over the Astronomical League's Universe Sampler program. And this is a great guide for people wanting to get back to basics in astronomy, or maybe they're just starting in astronomy. And so it covers everything. I think it's pretty complete. It's a quick read. So we're going to let Kent introduce it, and then in subsequent programs, he's going to cover more and more of it till we get all the way through it. And then we're going to start hitting up the Astronomical League's observing programs with you. So, okay.
All right. So I'm using these images courtesy with permission of the Astronomical League. I strongly encourage everybody to go to Astronomical League and buy one of these. It's $10. It's a very affordable. That money helps the Astronomical League do their fine work. So let me share my screen.
I'm going to find the link where they can buy it.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to find. All right, there we go. I think I'm shared now. Okay, so here's the cover of the Universe Sampler. It's spiral bound. Amelia Goldberg wrote it, and it's a really good publication. And going to just dive into lesson 1, and I'm going to blow it up just a little bit so you can see it, maybe a little bit better on the screen. Basically, lesson 1 is real simple. It's 1 page, very simple. It talks about how the Earth moves through the sky, or how the sky appears to move. It's pretty straightforward. Probably a lot of people on this show that I know of understand this, but it's always a good way to go back and refresh yourself that on the basics. And the Earth rotates on its north-south axis once every 24 hours from west to east. If watching the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock, if you remember that movie, and Scott and I were talking about this a day or two ago, I got up, I almost left that movie after about 15 seconds because the satellites were moving in the wrong direction and the spacecraft were moving. I was like, okay, this is going to be one of those. But I stayed and watched it, and okay, it was probably a waste of $10, but I did it. So anyway, the way the Earth rotates makes things, rise in the east and set in the west. But as we all know, probably the Earth is what's moving and the sky's not. As we go around the orbit of the sun, we see different parts of the sky, which is why we see different parts, different constellations at different times of the year. First, because of the Earth's rotation on its axis, the stars change position in the sky from hour to hour. And second, because the Earth orbits the sun, we see different stars in different parts of the sky. Real simple lesson, some really big concepts that people probably have to spend some time studying and trying to get their minds wrapped around, rotating on its axis, but revolving around the sun. There are differences in those terms. So, very simple, very straightforward. And when I've used this, and Paul and Kathy Anderson have given classes on the Universe Sampler, actually have people stand up and both rotate and revolve, and to show how different parts of the sky are visible, different times of the year. It really helps people see that physical representation of what's going on. So
now, you often mention Paul and Kathy Anderson. Who were these people?
Paul Anderson walked into my life, I don't know, 20-something years ago, 21 years ago now, probably. I was editor of the newspaper, and he walked in and wanted to submit an announcement that he was trying to form an astronomy club. I went, oh, really? Well, how about that? And, I had been involved in astronomy and through my father, but never had a telescope. And I became a charter member of the Sugar Creek Astronomical Society. I think we're coming up on the 20 years. Ended up buying a telescope that Kathy had, an 8-inch black tube Celestron on a wooden tripod. Still have it, still use it. Great telescope. Although it's more fun to use the stuff in the store. It's when you can check out anything in the store you want, it's a pretty good situation to be in. So and Paul and Kathy were drivers behind the club and continue to be. they moved off and lived in, I think, Pima, Arizona, maybe, and then Green Valley, and are members of a number of astronomy clubs out there as well. And, Paul is a master observer, which means he's done 20, I think, or there's of the observing clubs. I don't know how many observing clubs he's done now through the Astronomical League, but, he has the ability to do the Messier objects by memory. He can do a number of the Herschel deep sky objects by memory.
Observer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good visual observer. Yeah. And so Paul has been a mentor of many sorts to me over the years. And I am glad that Paul and Kathy walked into my life that day in the newspaper. And in fact, I wrote a column once a week for 15 years probably. And at some point in that, I started a Bad Light of the Week award. That's how long I've been, pushing light pollution and trying to discuss it. Was at the end of my column every week, I would point out a bad light around the county somewhere. Sir,
I did not know this.
Oh yeah, and I had people would turn me on to one, or I'd just pick one out, driving around, and I hammered car lots. I would be a bully about it, but I really raised awareness, and there are still people who would like for me to start a Bad Light of the Week award on Facebook just to raise that awareness. And so there were many people raise the awareness. And I focused a lot on science. I'd talk about the equinox and the solstices, and what figure does the sun make if you take a picture of it at the same time every day for a year. I dealt with a lot of astronomy science as well as natural sciences and things, but also just life things. But it was always fun to introduce astronomy that way. And there were some people a couple of people called me up and chewed me out for slamming their signs or slamming their lights. And I was like, well, you may be mad, but it's still the truth. And it was a good tool. And now here I am at Explore Scientific.
Still talking about bad lighting.
Still talking about bad lighting. And I'm going to continue to, because it's about our great grandkids. It's not about
the butterflies,
tomorrow night,
the birds, and everybody. It's about having a longer, happier, healthier life too. You do need darkness. The darkness vitamin is something that we all need. So
the darkness vitamin. I like that. I've never heard that term before.
I just made it up.
Well, I think we should trademark it.
Okay, trademarked. Yeah.
Trademarked the darkness vitamin.
Yeah.
And it's truly amazing how much light pollution costs. I was looking on the International Dark Sky Association's website last night, and it's trillions of dollars of energy wasted. It's astounding how much electricity goes up into the sky. And ultimately, that is going to be the way we attack it, I believe. When you go and talk to somebody that I want dark skies so I can look at the stars, they think you're a nut. Especially governments, most people don't care. But when you start talking about wasting electricity and how much that electricity costs and how much you could save by shining it on the ground, and if you're already happy with how much is on the ground, and then you double it or increase it, 75% by putting a full cutoff shield, well, now you're wasting electricity. And so there's ways to do it. And here in Arkansas, there's been an effort. There's a town along the Buffalo National River, Gilbert, that's actually inside the national park, that the population is 28 and they have 16 streetlights. So they have.
There's just, just a, quick.
That's Europe.
Well,
that's Italy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, and all of that light doesn't have to be there. It can be on the ground and be perfectly acceptable. In Tucson, Arizona, you can be 2 stories above the ground and you can't see the lights. There's just puddles of lights on the ground because of the observatories in the area, they recognize the importance of keeping those dark skies. And as soon as you get above those lights, you can see the Milky Way. Phoenix, Tucson has had a light pollution ordinance since 1972, I think. So this is nothing new and crazy, but you go talk to government officials about it, and they think that you're off your rocker. So attacking it on the I think on the carbon pollution it causes and just the wasted energy are the ways to attack it, with most people. You start talking saving carbon, that turns a lot of people off, the people who don't believe in climate change or, greenhouse gases and understand the science, that turns people off. They think, oh, you're one of those liberal people.
Them, yeah.
You're one of those freak green tree hugger peoples. Yeah.
One of those guys that likes to have a dark sky and breathe clean air. One of them.
There's nothing wrong with dark skies.
No.
Mike Wiesner says, many people I talk to don't care about the small cost of them or their wasted light. But when I tell them about the human health impacts like breast cancer and other health problems, then I get their attention. The health aspects of the other one, Mike. Yeah. And also, Mike, I need to talk to you sometime. I think I'm getting ready to start working with 2 parks to become urban dark skies or urban sky parks. One's a national park and one's a state park. We were talking about it last night on our Sugar Creek Astronomical Society Zoom meeting. So I'm going to be hollering at you one of these days. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, Mike Wiesner was the chair. I think he was the chair of the International Dark Sky Park Committee and had a huge hand in that. So he's a great resource for anybody that wants to try and get a park that's Bortle 4 or brighter as trying to raise awareness. He's the guy. Easy access here. So thank you, Mike, for all those effort you put in over the years.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it looks like Scott's put the post up. Worth the money and supports a great organization. And if you're not a member of an astronomy club that is a member of the Astronomical League, you can join as an individual as well. It's very affordable. If you're in an astronomy club that isn't a member, it's like $7 a family unit. I mean, it's very, very inexpensive. You get a quarterly magazine, with all sorts of good information in it. Very worthwhile organization that is an advocate for what we do, for our passion. So what else you want to talk about, Scott?
I wanted to talk a little bit about the auctions that we have now.
Oh, yeah.
Where, because people are looking for a deal. Here's the problem right now. All the manufacturers have, very low inventory levels. Okay. If you tried to order, somebody was telling me about even trying to buy an Optolong L Extreme filter and having to wait, for months to get it. Telescopes, mounts, all of these things is very, very difficult to get right now. We have in our inventory, because we've been in business for now our 12th year, I guess.
Yeah, going on 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years. You collect things, okay? And some of those things that you're collecting are sales samples, stuff that we had turned back in for trade-ups. We have a trade-up, trade-in program. We have a number of reasons why a telescope was used for shows, used for demonstrations, used for this, used for that, traded in, that kind of thing. And it's not just telescopes, it's eyepieces, it's mounts. There's some one-off things that we might make available. But we thought the best way to do this, in fact, I thought the very best way to do this was to perhaps auction them off, because that would give more people a shot at trying to get them. And so we have implemented an auction app on the Explore Scientific website. So if you just go to...
So Scott, I've got it up. on the
And
screen. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go to our website and go hover over the sales tab, you'll see certified pre-owned, and that's where we've always sold our certified pre-owned items. But the auction tab is a new one, and
And we don't have very much stuff up there right now, but more and more stuff will be coming up here.
this was a test to see how it goes. We have this set up now. We had it a straight auction. Right now, you can bid up this stuff. The starting bid is like $30. You can buy it now for $150. You could buy this great Bresser 150 millimeter short tube Newtonian for, start bidding on this stuff, because this is a great telescope. We took it out of the box. It was brand new in the box, had never been opened. We took it out of the box, and we can go to this.
There's only one, right?
There is only one. That is correct. We took it out of the box, take a picture of it. It was brand new in the box. This telescope is brand new in the box. It had never been taken out of the box. And
Go ahead.
And astoundingly, it has a red dot finder. It's an illuminated reticle. It's still, the battery was still good. I was figuring, okay, the battery's going to be corroded, so it's still lit. The little LED flashlight still lit. This thing's probably 9 years old, Scott, maybe, and we've had it. And this is a beautiful telescope.
Yeah, it was an evaluation sample, I think, is what it was.
Yeah. So these cases went fast. We have more that we're going to sell. This was, like I said, this was just a test. Now these are for TED telescopes, the first generation of telescopes Scott built. They will not fit, like this ED80 case will not fit a current ED80 without some modification. But if you've got a sharp pocket knife or a sander, you can. This is hard, good foam. This is not pluckable foam. This is real solid foam.
That's right.
And it's not that pluckable foam, you pluck it out and eventually it wears out and they start falling apart. This isn't that, this is a cool item. This is a Bresser manual German equatorial mount. We have a couple of them. You can, and they're not brand new, but they're really, really, really
in good condition.
In good condition. And slow motion controls. Everybody's been out of mounts like this. This is a solid, could probably handle an 18, 20-pound telescope with no trouble. Again, it's just slow motion controls. Beautiful mount, good condition. I don't know, Scott, was it a pre-production model or any idea? Do you remember what it was?
Available. It was a production model, but it comes from the time of when I first started the company. I didn't have a line of things yet. The people at Bresser were close. I've known those people for a long time. So I was able to buy some Bresser products. This is actually even before we became the quote unquote official distributor for Bresser. Good solid mount, good solid tripod, very nice condition. It's not branded Explore Scientific, but there's nothing wrong with it. So,
and the illuminator on it works as well. I was just happy to find that out. So
yes, if you're looking for just a good manual mechanical mount that's going to hold a little bit larger telescope, there you go.
$100. Starting bid is $100. It's worth every bit of $225. This is a serious quality mount. So that's there.
Tripod too.
On a good solid tripod. This is not a jiggly wiggly toy tripod. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
So we're going to be having more stuff cycle through as we go through and what we call the rework warehouse, for the lack of a better term. And there's lots of stuff back there that we're gonna bring up. It's gonna be pretty cool. So
good.
Like I said, somebody buy that breast out right now for $200. That's worth every bit of that telescope on
Oh, the
this
pressure.
tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful package. Throw a bid in there on it, and who knows what you're going to get it for. But, worst case scenario, you buy it for $525, but, you could pick this up for a lot less because of the auction. Yep.
Very true. Yeah, and so what do I want to cover? The rest of the things I'd like to cover today. I'd like to mention that on Friday, the Astronomical League is going to have Astronomical League Live 4. That starts at 6 p.m. Central. Terry Mann is the coordinator of that program, and she brings in amazing speakers. And in fact, I think that we are going to be, I believe that you and I are going to be on that program, Kent. So
yes, this is Friday night. I'm the featured speaker at the Oklahoma City Astronomical Association Society meeting at 6:30, and I'm going to flip over and hopefully make the deadline for the. I think y'all changed the schedule to get me some time to show up for that one as well.
Right.
So
yeah,
yep, have a double engagement.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to thank Andrew Corkill. He sent me this FedEx package here, and I was looking through there, and there's he works at Targus, and so he sent me this really cool bag. I don't know if you've seen any of the Targus bags and stuff like that. Pretty famous for computer hardware stuff. He sent me a couple of these things. These are like USB ports, for like a mini connector for hooking up your monitor and stuff. So thank you very much, Andrew, for sending those to me. I will use them when I go on the road again, and I plan to do live broadcasting from the road. But and there's some other little things in here, but which is kind of cool. But this stuff, here's the mother load right here. Every one of these this is a complete library of Meade training videos. These are all done on DVDs. He sent it to me because yours truly is on almost all of them. So I worked at Meade for, over 20 years, and no, Jeff, there was no brownies in here. Okay. But it was really cool. At the time, to make these videos, it was a huge production effort. And, so we now do video every day. And that's something we would have never dreamed of doing back in those early years. I don't know exactly how these are, but I think they're all from like the 90s. So we'll have to see if they play. But thank you very much, Andrew. Andrew worked with me at Meade Instruments, and he was in marketing. He since has gone on to work at Targus, where he's like, I think, senior vice president of marketing there or something along those lines. Hope I'm not blowing it here, Andrew. Anyhow, a lot of fun to get a surprise package like that. So, so we've got the Astronomical League live event happening on Friday. We've got, and then next Tuesday, we'll have the next Global Star Party that will be co-hosted by the Mark Slade Remote Observatory team. They also call themselves MSRO Science. And so they're going, that's Jerry Hubble and Myron Watsuda, I think is how it's pronounced. I always get that a little messed up, but anyways, Myron and Jerry will create the schedule, pick the speakers, and all the rest of it. I get to pick some speakers too, so I'm going to help them out. But I think that's today's program, Ken. Did you have anything else that you'd like to add?
What is a remote broadcast going to look like for you? I don't.
A remote broadcast?
Yeah, I can't. I'm sort of trying to think of that.
I just have to have internet. So I'm going to bring my cameras, my microphone, I recently purchased a Mac Mini. I normally do this on an iMac, okay? But I've got the same software on the Mac Mini. I need to have a portable monitor or two, okay, to hook that up. And, I may have to have another microphone so that I can interview people as we do this. So, I mean, one of the events that we think that we will do this year is the Starmus event in Yerevan, which this is the
Lithuania.
not Lithuania. It's Yerevan, Armenia. Is that right?
Armenia. That's it. It's Armenia.
Yeah. So I've never been there. Okay. I understand they have incredibly high-speed internet there, which is great. Rock stars like Brian May will be there. Astrophysicists will be there. And we are being invited to conduct the star party there. So by that time, I should have my vaccine, and a lot of other people should have their vaccine. And if they pull it off, I will go and I will take my broadcast system with me. So they're going to allow me to broadcast live from Starmus, which will be a very cool thing. So that's the deal. We'll see if it all works out.
Cool.
Okay.
That'll be fun it'll be both fun and frightening to watch.
Yes. Well, you'll have to get up really late in the morning or early in the morning, something like that. Andrew says, when I worked at Mead, we would always recommend Wiesner's website. It had better resources than Mead's own website. That's true. That is true. Yeah. And plus, Mike had his own, he had a book, which is basically the Bible on the ETX. So it was a really, really cool thing. Mike Whitaker says he gets his vaccine in 2 weeks. For all of you guys that want to get vaccines, I hope you get them very soon. So I'm looking forward to getting mine.
It's 2:45 a.m. right now in Armenia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty late. Yeah. So it'll be midday, I guess, that you'll see broadcasts from Armenia from us. So anyways, you guys, like my friend always said, Jack Horkheimer, he's always said, keep looking up. So I'll tell you guys to keep looking up. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be a little bit more awake then. Okay. Take care and have a great day.